Hello everybody, Paul here again from Paul's Path, right? You know, the path that we're talking about. The path in this book, rarely have we seen a person fail who's thoroughly followed this path, okay? There's a path in there. There's spiritual principles to live by. They're in chronicle order, and it saves lives. It saves everybody's lives if you do it, if you surrender and actually do it, and if you keep doing it. Now, today we're going to talk about step 4 a little bit, okay? So when they start off with step 4, they talk about resentment, so they're the number one offender. I think for me it might have been fear, but it doesn't matter. It destroys more alcoholics than anything else. From it stems all forms of spiritual disease. For we have been not only mentally and physically ill, we have been spiritually sick. When the spiritual malady is overcome, we straighten out mentally and physically. Not a lot of people know what that means, but that means the spiritual malady is going to be overcome by working the steps and living along a spiritual basis and having that personality change. And then when we have that personality change and that spiritual awakening, the obsession will be lifted, so we will straighten out mentally. And then when we straighten out mentally, we don't have to take the first drink, so we won't have the physical allergy or the phenomenon of craving, so now we straighten out physically. So we work the steps to lift the obsession, so we don't have to take the first drink to trigger the physical allergy. That's what that means, okay? So that's all in it. Then you're going to make an inventory, okay? The inventory is going to be basically all your character defects and all the things that are blocking you from God. You're just going to inventory it, right? Okay? Whatever's blocking between you and God is the problem, is the reason at our failure at life and our destructive drinking. So we're going to look at that stuff. Now, here's the good part. There's a solution in step 4 that not many people know about. And it's not just about an inventory. Not many people talk about this, but I want to talk about it today. It says, this was our course. We realized that people who... What course? This was our course to get rid of resentments. So this was our course. We realized that people who wronged us were perhaps spiritually sick. Though we did not like their symptoms and the way they disturbed us, what they did and what they said. They, like ourselves, because I'm sick, man. I'm an alcoholic. I was a lot sicker, but I was sick. So it says they, like ourselves, were sick too. So we ask God. We're going to ask God. We're going to pray to God. It's a petition to God. We ask God to help us show them the same tolerance, pity, and patience that we would cheerfully grant a sick friend. We wouldn't treat a person with cancer like that. So why treat somebody with the disease of diabetes like that? Why treat somebody with the disease of alcoholism and drug addiction like that? We're going to ask for patience, tolerance, and pity. When a person offended, we said to ourselves, here's a little prayer. This is a sick man. How can I be helpful to him? God save me from being angry. Thy will be done. Now we're going to put out of our minds what they did, okay? If they're the problem again, we have enslaved ourselves. If they're the problem, we can't do anything about it. We just have enslaved ourselves. But the problem is always me. There's always something going on in me. Even if they did something wrong, but I'm full of self-pity or I'm full of anger. The spiritual axiom says anytime I'm disturbed, no matter what the cause, no matter how wrong they are, there's something wrong with me too if I'm disturbed. Okay? Now, this is beautiful. Now, referring to our list again, putting out of our minds the wrongs others had done, we resolutely look for our own mistakes. Where had we been selfish? Where have we been dishonest? Where have we been self-seeking? Where have we been in self-pity? Where were we lying, cheating, and stealing? Where were we intolerant? Huh? They got self too. They got character defects just like us. Why am I so intolerant of other people's character defects just because they're different than my character defects? Doesn't really make sense. We got to forgive and forget. And you know, you can't be helpful to all people. You cannot be helpful to all people, but at least God will show you a kindly and tolerant view and of everybody. Alcoholics can't afford to have anger and resentment. It'll kill us. There's a number one killer. So anyway, that's step 4. Another thing I wanted to talk about is there's a lot of people, especially in the States, that cannot get sober for a couple of reasons. They don't have somebody like me, or they don't have a sponsor that's good. I mean, there's a lot of good sponsors out there. There's a lot of guys like me, but they don't have a good sponsor. They might be being sponsored by an acute alcoholic, but they're really a chronic alcoholic. And that acute alcoholic, he just got to go to meetings, and he could actually kill a chronic alcoholic if the chronic alcoholic does what the acute alcoholic means. So there's 2 types of alcohol. Acute alcoholic means that he just says the allergy. When he starts drinking, he can't stop. A chronic alcoholic is one that cannot stay stopped because of the obsession. That's the difference. Now, we're gonna start a sober retreat down here, and we're gonna take some guys down with time, and we're gonna take some guys down that are new, and there's going to be a program. And we're going to be posting the program. The program is going to be basically going to be chores in the morning, a meeting in the morning, and then water, then fishing on boats, then snorkeling, walking the beach, whatever, then a barbecue in the afternoon, and then a meeting after that. And then there's going to be assignments like read the book and stuff like that. And everybody will have to do chores like make a bed or sweep a floor or something like that. So it's going to work. It's going to be an 8-man. We're going to start off with an 8-man retreat. We call it a retreat, but it's it's a little bit about getting new guys sober. But if somebody's got 20 years sober, come on down. If you want to text or call me, I'll show you the pictures of this place. It's beautiful, and the cartel cannot get within 50 miles of here. There's so many police and military around, so there's no drugs in this town. You can't buy drugs in this town. You can buy alcohol, but not if you're hanging out with us. You're going to have to get a car. You're going to have to get money. I mean, so it's really not tempting down here to use. But when you're up in the middle of a city where there's drugs and fentanyl and pills everywhere, it's really hard for an addict or alcoholic to stay sober. But down here, it's not hard. And we have a blast. We have a lot of fun. It's not like we go to a rehab and we stand in line for an apple. This is a great place to recover. And it might take 1, 2, 3 months. It might take 2 weeks. I don't know. But anyway, love y'all. That's step 4. That's talking about the GoFundMe. The GoFundMe will be in the description. Just look at the bio. And I love y'all. I'm going out to help a couple guys right now. I hope you guys go help somebody too. And make it a great day. And thank you for your donations. Love y'all.